गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपित्तजम्बूफलचारुभक्षणम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारकं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजम्। सरस्वती महाभागे विद्ये कमललोचने विद्यारूपे विशालाक्षी विद्यां देहि नमोऽस्तु ते। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्बा त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। गीताशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णोः पदमवाप्नोति भयशोकविवर्जितः। गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च। मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्भसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनम्। गीता सुगीता कर्तव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिसृता भारतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्राद्विनिसृतं गीता गङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्रगीतमेको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा। शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं यं ब्रह्मा वरुणीन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिः ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तु ते कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि महापापादिपापानि गीताध्ययनं करोति चेत् क्वचित् स्पर्शं न कुर्वन्ति नलिनीदलम् अम्बुवत् गीतायाः पुस्तकं यत्र यत्र पाठः प्रवर्तते तत्र सर्वाणि तीर्थानि प्रयागादीनि तत्र वै यत्र गीताविचारश्च पठनं पाठनं श्रुतं तत्र अहं निश्चितं पृथ्वीं निवसामि सदैव हि चिदानन्देन कृष्णेन प्रोक्ता स्वमुखतोऽर्जुन वेदत्रयी परानन्दा तत्त्वार्थज्ञानसंयुता अष्टादश जपेन्नित्यं नरो निश्चलमानसः ज्ञानसिद्धिं स लभते ततो याति परं पदं गीतार्थं ध्यायते नित्यं कृत्वा कर्माणि भूरिशः जीवन्मुक्तः स विज्ञेयो देहान्ते परमं पदम् मन्दारगन्धसंयुक्तं चारुहासं चतुर्भुजं बर्हि पिच्छावचूडाङ्गं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं रुक्मिणीकेलिसंयुक्तं पीताम्बरसुशोभितम् अवाप्ततुलसीगन्धं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् उत्फुल्लपद्मपत्राक्षं नीलजीमूतसन्निभं यादवानां शिरोरत्नं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् अस्तु सो अद्य कं श्लोकं पठनीयम् 35 खलु तद्विद्धि 38 yes 36 37 अपि अभवत् वा
अभवत् महोदय
अस्तु 38
संख्या कृपया पुटसंख्या भगिनी
230
चतुर्थः भागः वा
चतुर्थोऽध्यायः पेज नंबर 230 गीताप्रवेश पुस्तकं द्वितीयभागं प्रथमखण्डः अन्तिमे स्मः सो 38th श्लोकां रविशंकर महोदय पठितुम् इच्छति वा
आं महोदय पठामि न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते तत्स्वयं योगसंसिद्धः कालेनात्मनि विन्दति पदार्थः पदच्छेदः द्वयोरपि एकवारमेव वदामि वा युगपत् वदामि महोदय पदच्छेदः पदपरिचयः च न अव्ययं हि अव्ययं ज्ञानेन अर्थात् ब्रह्मज्ञानेन अकारान्तः नपुंसकलिङ्गः ज्ञानशब्दः तृतीया एकवचनं सदृशम् अर्थात् तुल्यम् अकारान्तः नपुंसकलिङ्गः सदृशशब्दः प्रथमा एकवचनं पवित्रम् अर्थात् पावनं पूतम् अकारान्तः नपुंसकलिङ्गः पवित्रशब्दः प्रथमा एकवचनं इह अर्थात् अत्र अव्ययं विद्यते विद् धातोः आत्मनेपदी कर्तरि लट् लकारः प्रथमपुरुषः एकवचनं दिवादि गणे अस्ति इदं धातु तत् दकारान्तः नपुंसकलिङ्गः तद् सर्वनामशब्दः द्वितीय एकवचनम् अर्थात् ज्ञानं स्वयं अव्ययं स्वयं एव अर्थम् आत्मनः इति अर्थम् योगसंसिद्धः समाधिनिष्ठः अकारान्तः पुल्लिङ्गः प्रथम एकवचनं कालेन महता समयेन अकारान्तः पुल्लिङ्गः अथवा नपुंसकलिङ्ग एव अहं मन्ये तृतीय एकवचनम् आत्मनि स्वस्मिन् नकारान्तः पुल्लिङ्गः आत्मन् शब्दः सप्तमी एकवचनं विन्दति अर्थात् लभते विद् लाभे तुदादि गणे अस्ति कर्तरि लट् लकारः प्रथमपुरुष एकवचनम् आकांक्षं पठामि वा
आम् सो काल शब्द नपुंसकलिङ्गे अपि अस्ति पुंलिङ्गे अपि अस्ति
आम् 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 महोदय
पठतु महोदय आकांक्षा
पुस्तकरीत्या पठामि वा मम नोट्स् कृतमस्ति तत्
या पुस्तकरीत्या अपि शक्यते अथवा बहु भवान् किमपि टिप्पणीं लिखति चेत् तदपि सम्यक् एव
आं महोदय प्रथमं पुस्तकरीत्या पठामि न विद्यते किं न विद्यते पवित्रं न विद्यते कीदृशं पवित्रं न विद्यते सदृशं पवित्रं न विद्यते केन सदृशं पवित्रं न विद्यते ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रं न विद्यते ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रं कुत्र न विद्यते ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रम् इह न विद्यते ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रम् इह न विद्यते इति प्रथमवाक्यम् अभवत् तत् कथं विन्दति ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रम् इह न विद्यते तत् कालेन विन्दति तत् कीदृशः कालेन विन्दति तत् योगसंसिद्धः कालेन विन्दति तत् केन योगसिद्धः कालेन विन्दति तत् स्वयं योगसंसिद्धः कालेन विन्दति तत् स्वयं योगसंसिद्धः कालेन कुत्र विन्दति तत् स्वयं योगसंसिद्धः कालेन आत्मनि विन्दति तात्पर्यमपि पठामि वा
पठतु तात्पर्यं व्याकरणमपि
आम् तात्पर्यम् इह लोके ज्ञानेन मम ज्ञानेन समं पवित्रम् अन्यत् न किंचन विद्यते तत् ज्ञानं फलापेक्षां विना कर्म कुर्वन् पुरुषः गच्छता कालेन चित्तशुद्धिम् अवाप्य स्वयमेव आत्मनि प्राप्नोति रामानुजीयमतं ज्ञानम् आत्मज्ञानं योगः ज्ञानाकार कर्मयोगः व्याकरणं समासः योगसंसिद्धः योगेन संसिद्धः तृतीय तत्पुरुष कृदन्तः संसिद्धः सम उपसर्गः सिद्ध धातु च प्रत्यय कर्तर्यर्थे
अस्तु सो अत्र विद्यते इति एकं क्रियापदम् अत्र कर्तृपदं
अत्र पवित्रम् इति कर्तृपदं भवति पवित्रं न हि विद्यते इति स्वीकरणीयः अस्ति इति मन्ये
पवित्रं न हि इह न हि विद्यते न हि
ज्ञानेन सदृशं न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रम् इह न हि विद्यते
so there is nothing like there is nothing more sacred than jnanam
jnana
nothing more more sacred than jnanam so jnanam is the ultimate tool that one has to achieve to attain parabrahma jnanam is the only thing that is the only marga for us to attain moksha because that is the most sacred way or sacred state
yes nothing equivalent to jnanam exists
द्वितीयं क्रियापदं
विन्दति लभते इति अर्थे
लभते इति अर्थे
तत् अर्थात ज्ञानम कः विन्दति तत् अर्थात ज्ञानम योग संसिद्धः विन्दति
So yoga samsiddha karakam kim?
कर्तृकारकं भवति महोदय
Kartrikarakam. Yoga samsiddha vindati. Yoga
विन्दति
samsiddha kena vindati.
योग संसिद्धः स्वयं कालेन विन्दति
स्वयं विन्दति. योग संसिद्धः स्वयं
हाँ,
विन्दति.
हाँ,
कथं विन्दति?
विन्दति कालेन विन्दति स्वयं कालेन विन्दति योग संसिद्धः स्वयं कालेन कुत्र विन्दति योग संसिद्धः स्वयं कालेन आत्मनि विन्दति
आत्मनि विन्दति. अत्र तत् किं भवति?
तत् इत्युक्ते ज्ञानम् इति अर्थम्
ज्ञानम् इति अर्थः. अतः कर्मपदम्.
आम्
योग संसिद्धः कालेन स्वयं तत् इत्युक्ते ज्ञानम् आत्मनि विन्दति. So basically here what the shloka is saying is we have to do what we have to do. We have to understand that Jnanam is the most sacred of all. So we have to go in the path of achieving the Jnanam. And how does one achieve the Jnanam? Through Karma Yoga, through Karma Marga. So we have to do our karmas. And we are already told how to do our karmas, like the nishkama karmas, without any pratiphalam, without any emotion, without any raga dvesha. All these have been stated. So in that way, we have to first attain the karma yoga. And once we are able to do all the karmas in this way, like how they are stated, without any phalapeksha, without any dvesha, if we are able to do, then we have to practice the pranayama. Having attained that state of mind, then if we do pranayama, then the pranayama also will become like a yajna. And once we do the pranayama with that kind of state of mind, then later on the samadhi comes. One will be able to attain the samadhi.
Yes.
And even after attaining samadhi, it will take time for one to attain the tattva jnanam. Samadhi is that state where you are undisturbed.
Yes.
In that state, if we do some abhyasa, then the tattva jnanam will be obtained. So all these will have step by step and slowly this will happen. It will not, today we have taken up this path, so tomorrow it will not happen. It will take a lot of abhyasa. We will be falling back many times. We are able to do, finally we are able to do our karmas, the satkarmas without any phalapeksha. But sometime that will again peak inside our mind, some kind of phalapeksha. So it will take a lot of practice to have this indriya control. So, but finally, when it happens, the tattva jnanam, when it is obtained, then once obtain the tattva jnanam, which is the ultimate one, then we can obtain that yoga siddhi.
Yes.
And for this small, story is told. Why? Because we keep seeing in this everyday world how some people, though they are putting in a lot of effort to obtain this jnana marga. So they are practicing all what is told in the karma marga, but still they are not able to attain particular state, whereas others seem to be not working so much in that direction, but everything seems to come easily for some people. So we keep thinking, why is this happening? And we all know, but we have to remember during such times, we have to just remember what we already know. What we already know is, for some people, though it appears that things are coming easily, things are not really coming easily for them. They have already earned for it in their past lives. In their past lives, they have done so many satkarmas that they are reaping. That person is reaping the benefits of all the satkarmas that they have done in their previous lives. The sanchita karmas, all the sanchita karmas are paying off right now. So though in this particular life, maybe they are not doing that much of abhyasa in any way, but things are falling in place. Why? Because of their past satkarmas. So for this, there is a small story that is given. Like a person, he's a very he's a very disciplined person who follows everything, and he wants to perform a puja to a goddess. And it is the ritual is that he has to go to a certain place in the forest, and only there he has to offer like a flower to the goddess. Then he will attain that siddhi. So he will go, will prepare everything, he will carry everything there. He will follow all the procedures for the puja, and then right when he sits to start, because there is a time when he has to do. Exactly at that time, what happens is, because it is a forest, a tiger will come and attack this person, and it will eat that person. So that person dies. Then there is another person a little far away who sees all this happening. So then he understands that this person came here to do something, and everything is already there. All he had to do is take the flower from the basket and offer it to the goddess.
Yes.
So he will do that. He will do that, and and he will attain that siddhi. The goddess appears and she will bless him. So then he himself is perplexed. So he will ask the goddess, "Are this person, he worked so much, he waited for this moment for so long, he took the trouble of carrying everything, bringing everything into this forest, and only in the last minute he was not able to offer. Whereas I was just going around simply wandering here in the forest, and I simply offered it to you. I did not even have the intention of performing this puja, but I got this opportunity, and then you appeared for me. So how does this work?" He asks. For that, the goddess will say that, it appears that you got it easily, but you have done so many satkarmas in your past lives that is the reason why you got this opportunity. Whereas the other person, he also has done so many satkarmas, but still there is some more time for him to attain that siddhi, and that is the reason why he lost this opportunity. So simply, so we have to always constantly remember that, because many times we get disappointed if we do not receive
what we want. Yes.
certain results, like not
Yes.
materialistic things. Sometimes even when we are in real difficulties, we pray to God to see some kind of relief, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
sometimes that does not happen, and we
Yes.
get disappointed that why this is happening to us. So that times we have to remember that we are simply clearing our debts from the past karmas, whatever we have done. Because we also have to acknowledge the good things that are happening to us constantly. Many times we forget that. Whenever
Yes.
good things are happening, we think, oh, this is all my doing. I am very good. I am very
Yes.
capable. That is why
Yes.
these things are happening.
Yes.
But we have to also appreciate that the good things that are happening to us. Oh, we must have done something good in the past. So that is, that is being presented right now. Similarly, we have to always prepare ourselves along with some good things. We might also have done some bad karmas knowingly or unknowingly. So we have to be always be prepared for that. And whenever they come our way, we have to clear the debts at some point. So we should take that opportunity and only pray to God for the strength to go through that difficult times. But we should never ask to be excused from those difficulties, because if not now, later we have to pay. If not now, later. So better now, when we are more strong, when we are more young, when we are more capable, rather than if we keep postponing. We don't know how we'll be at a later point. We might not be able to handle them as much as now. Sooner the better. We have to just embrace whatever is thrown at us and only pray to God. I know that I have to face this. Just give me the strength so that I can pass through these difficult times. So that is the best way to handle. And if we go forward in that direction, and once we pay all our dues and continue doing this abhyasa of satkarmas, of satkarmas without any phalapeksha and without any ragadvesha and all that, then definitely we'll enter into that jnana marga. And even after entering the jnana marga, we have to do a lot of abhyasa to finally attain that tattva jnanam. And once the tattva jnanam also we acquire, even then, like we said, there will be some time for everybody, like a wheel that is turned. If we simply stop turning the wheel, it will not just stop like that. It will turn until that force is spent.
Yes, yes.
So similarly, even after we attain the Tattva Jnanam, still there will be some time until when we still have to be or carry this body. Until then, we have to carry the body. And during that time, we have to, that is the time when we have to use our Tattva Jnanam to set as an example to the other people that are around us. So that is the reason why that extra time will be given to each individual even after they attain the Tattva Jnanam. Otherwise, how will the others learn? Because many times, the learning process happens by watching others and observing and learning. So that is with this shloka. So nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate tat swayam yoga samsiddha kale natmani vindati. So it happens over time. So we cannot rush through such things. We just have to have the patience for whenever that is going to happen. Until then, our job is to simply continue doing what we need to do as per the teachings, as per the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So the next, any questions in this shloka? Okay. Anantaram. Dhanyavadah, Mahodaya. So Alivelu Bagini, Patitum Ichchati va?
Ekam nimisham.
39 shloka number.
श्रेष्ठावान् लभते ज्ञानं तत्परः संयतेन्द्रियः ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम् अचिरेणाधिगच्छति श्रद्धावान् लभते ज्ञानं तत्परः संयतेन्द्रियः ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम् अचिरेण अधिगच्छति श्रद्धावान् श्रद्धावत् तकारान्त पुंलिंग प्रथमा एकवचनम् लभते लब्धातु आत्मनेपदी लट्लकारं प्रथम पुरुष एकवचनं ज्ञानं ज्ञानं द्वितीया एकवचनं तकारान्त पुंलिंग तत्परः
नपुंसक एव
ज्ञानं नपुंसक इंदाके चदु नपुंसकलिंगं द्वितीया एकवचनं तत्परः तत्परः आकारान्त पुंलिंग प्रथमा एकवचनं संयतेन्द्रियः अकारान्त पुंलिंग प्रथमा एकवचनं ज्ञानम् अकारान्त नपुंसकलिंग द्वितीया एकवचनं ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा लब्धातु
स्वान्तं
परां अकारान्त नपुंसकलिंग द्वितीया एकवचनं परां
आकारान्त स्त्रीलिंग शब्दं किमर्थं शान्तिः इति
परा आकारान्त स्त्रीलिंगं शान्ति इकारान्त स्त्रीलिंग शब्द द्वितीया एकवचनं अचिरेण अचिरेण एण तृतीया एकवचनं
अव्ययमस्ति महोदय अव्ययम् अचिरेण अव्ययम्
अचिरेण अव्ययम् अस्ति तदपि अस्ति महोदय नपुंसकलिङ्गे तृतीया विभक्ति एकवचनमपि अस्ति
अधिगच्छति अधि उपसर्ग गम धातु तट्लकारं प्रथम पुरुष एकवचनं पदार्थः संयतेन्द्रियः जितेन्द्रियः तत्परः ज्ञानपरः श्रद्धावान् आस्थावान् ज्ञानम् आत्मज्ञानं लभते प्राप्नोति ज्ञानम् आत्मज्ञानं लब्ध्वा प्राप्य अचिरेण शीघ्रं पराम् उत्कृष्टं शान्तिं शमम् अधिगच्छति प्राप्नोति अन्वयः संयतेन्द्रियः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा अचिरेण परां शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति आकांक्षा लभते किं लभते ज्ञानं लभते कः ज्ञानं लभते श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते कीदृशः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते पुनश्च कीदृशः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते संयतेन्द्रियः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते संयतेन्द्रियः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते तेन किम् संयतेन्द्रियः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते तेन अधिगच्छति संयतेन्द्रियः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते तेन किम् अधिगच्छति संयतेन्द्रियः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते तेन शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति संयतेन्द्रियः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते तेन कीदृशीं शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति संयतेन्द्रियः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते तेन परां शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति संयतेन्द्रियः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते तेन कदा परां शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति संयतेन्द्रियः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते तेन अचिरेण परां शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति संयतेन्द्रियः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते तेन किं कृत्वा अचिरेण परां शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति संयतेन्द्रियः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते तेन लब्ध्वा अचिरेण परां शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति संयतेन्द्रियः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते तेन किं लब्ध्वा अचिरेण परां शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति संयतेन्द्रियः तत्परः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते तेन ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा अचिरेण परां शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति तात्पर्यम् ज्ञानमार्गे आसक्तः श्रद्धावान् च जितेन्द्रियः आत्मज्ञानं प्राप्नोति आत्मज्ञानं प्राप्य एव सः मुक्तिरूपां परमशान्तिम् अधिगच्छति व्याकरणं सन्धिः श्रद्धावान् लभते अनुनासिक सन्धि अचिरेणाधिगच्छति अचिरेण अधिगच्छति सवर्णदीर्घसन्धिः समासः संयतेन्द्रियः संयतानि इन्द्रियाणि येन सह बहुव्रीहि कृदन्तः श्रद्धावान् श्रद्धा मतु श्रद्धा अस्य अस्मिन् वा अस्ति लब्ध्वा लभु कान्तम् धन्यवादः भगिनी
धन्यवादः भगिनी सो अत्र क्रियापदानि कानि
लभते अधिगच्छति
लभते तत्र कर्तृपदं किम्
श्रद्धावान्
कर्म ज्ञानं सो संयतेन्द्रियः
विशेषणा तु श्रद्धावान् तत्परः अपि विशेषणा तु
श्रद्धावान् सो तत्परः संयतेन्द्रियः श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लभते तत् प्रथमं वाक्यं द्वितीयम् अधिगच्छति कर्तृपदं किम्
अधिगच्छति
श्रद्धावान् एव सो कर्मपदं किम्
शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति
शान्तिम् किं कृत्वा अधिगच्छति लब्ध्वा किं लब्ध्वा ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा सो श्रद्धावान् ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम् अचिरेण गच्छति so achirena gachati achirena shighram so once that jnanam is obtained once the tattva jnanam is obtained it will take time to obtain tattva jnanam but once the tattva jnanam is obtained then param shantim or the paramapadam or the brahma parabrahma that will happen instantly achirena adhigachati. So more than there are several ways how the jnanam can be obtained has been explained in the previous shlokas. Here this is another way, Shraddhavan. So not only by serving the Guru and by asking questions to the Guru, that is not the only marga. There are other margas also to attain jnanam. And one such other marga is to have Shraddha. So to have Shraddha in what we are doing. And what we are doing, even when we are asking questions to the Guru, there the Shraddha should be there. Simply asking questions at the surface level and not trying to understand them completely or not doing the abhyasa as per the suggestions given by the Guru, then there is no use. Even if you show respect to the Guru or even if you do susrusha to the Guru, all that will not work if you are not having that Shraddha. So having Shraddha is also equally important in obtaining Jnanam. And what kind of Shraddha? Sanyatendriyaha. So having all our Indriyas under control and practicing that Shraddha and any kind of guru that you consider, like, see, guru can be an actual guru, a person from whom you can learn. Sometimes we may not have access to a guru who is very knowledgeable and who can share his knowledge with us. So then we depend upon granthas like this, like the Bhagavad Gita or the Upanishads, and all these also we can consider, and we can follow the Vyakhyanams given by the rishis on these granthas. So that also we can consider, and so by asking questions. So if we don't have a guru face to face where we can actually ask, these are the places. We have all these questions. So we are looking for answers. So you can look for answers in the Bhagavad Gita and the Vyakhyanas given on these Upanishads or any kind of such philosophical texts. So all that we can consider. It need not be a guru, need not be a personification of a person, but it can also be through these granthas also we can acquire. But of course, having a guru, it will be a lot easier because they can clear our doubts much easily. Whereas here, our self sadhana, we have to depend on that also more, because there are there is so much of text out there, and we have to know where to look, and all that also we should be able to do. Whereas with a guru, since they know what we are exactly asking and where we are and what needs to be explained, that directly they will be able to do. But there also it is suggested that we need to ask questions, right? So that asking questions, that enthusiasm to learn or to know should always be there. So then even through the texts we can obtain our answers. So that kind of shraddha we need to have. And another thing is here another way of understanding this Shraddha is having Vishwasam. So many times once we find the right guru, whether it is Bhagavad Gita or whether it is a person or whether it is something else, once we have that, once we consider them as our guru, we should have that complete faith, complete faith. So there is no wandering of the mind, should not be there. Or we should not, many times what happens is we take what is convenient to us, what we can easily do, that part we will take. The other parts we'll try to find excuses. Oh, it is really not necessary, it is told back then, these days it may not work, something or the other. Of course, some of it might be true, because the times have changed and the lifestyles have changed and all, but that also we should be aware of. We should acknowledge to the fact that since the times have changed, we are not able to do like how it was done earlier, and this is the best that we are able to do, and there should not be any compromise. So to the best of our availability, if we are doing, then that is fine. But we should not find excuses in name of that, just to avoid doing certain things. If that is done, then that Shraddha is lacking. So when Shraddha is there, excuses should not be there. Not only in seeking spiritual knowledge, not only in seeking the Tattva Jnanam, we see this happening many times with with us, in doing many things. We always, like, say, for example, if we are trying to do some exercises for our health. Many times when we skip, we always find some excuse. Oh, today some friends came over. Oh, today I had to do something else. All these we are finding excuses to justify for what we have not done. But if we really want to done and prioritize what is more important, then things will happen. So that is Shraddha, having on one particular thing. So whatever is important that needs to be done, we have to put utmost Shraddha on that, only then it can be done. So Shraddha can be taken in both these ways. And that kind of Vishwasam, when it comes to learning, we should have that kind of Vishwasam in that Guru that we are following, and also the texts also. In the texts or the Vyakhyanas, but in the picking, we have to make sure that we pick the right Guru, who is really knowledgeable and who can really convey what is the true meaning of how the Grantha has been written. Once we do that kind of homework and pick the right guru, then we should have complete faith in what they are trying to tell us. Only then we will be able to move forward. We should not rush into finding a guru, some guru who is not really knowledgeable. And then if we have complete faith, we might be misled, because they themselves, that guru themselves, are not very knowledgeable. They might not have studied all the granthas. They might not have acquired all the knowledge that is needed to guide somebody else. So if we also rush into picking some guru and then try to follow them, we will also be wasting time by being in the wrong path, or not being able to practice the right kind of abhyasas to move forward. So we should also be very prudent in identifying the right guru, and then once we identify, then we should have the complete faith. And this guru, I mean not only a person, even the grantha, because out there are so many vyakhyanas written. Even for the Bhagavad Gita, there are so many vyakhyanas written. There are so many pravachanas being told. So we have to understand who is explaining the meaning of these shlokas in the right way, without any deviations, without trying to promote something else. So as long as we are able to identify that and pick the right vyakhyanam, then we need to have that complete faith, and we should also be in a position to verify whatever they are saying, because they always quote. The right guru will always quote, like from this Upanishad or from this. So we can go and check those to make sure that we are being given the correct information. So Shraddha can be taken as, one is as faith and the other one is Shraddha and faith, we can take them as synonyms. When you have Shraddha, it means that you are with utmost faith in it. Only then that Shraddha comes. So that we can take. Okay. Anantaram. Okay. Any questions in this shloka? So many people, like especially the kids, right? When we are trying to talk to our kids about our Tattvajnanam, as given by our Vedas and all this, they cannot see. All of these, the Paramatma and all these are not, cannot be perceived through our Indriyas. So it will be difficult for our children to understand that. Why? Because we are unable to see. So many times this question commonly comes, oh, you cannot see God, so how do you know that he is there? Why are you believing in all this stuff? These are the kind of questions that we get from some people who do not believe in all this. So the only way to reason with them is, there are many things that we cannot see, but we know that they are there through other means. So similarly, this also. So that is where our Nyaya Darshana comes into place. So in Nyaya Darshana, the Nayayikas, that is what they have done. They have used these pramanas, like the Pratyaksha Pramana, Anumana Pramana, and all these to prove that some can be proved with Pratyaksha Pramanas, but some cannot be proved with Pratyaksha Pramana. But based on some Pratyaksha Pramanas, the Anumana Pramana can be proved. So like this, they have established an logic to make other people, especially in that particular case, the Buddhists, because the Buddhism was the one that primarily took over the Veda Pramanas back in those centuries, and where there was really a difficult time for people who are following the Vedas as the Pramana. It was that existence of the Vedas also was questioned because of the strength with which that Buddhism came into existence. So during that time, our Nayayikas really stood and provided all this reasoning and logic to show that the Veda Pramanyam is there, and we can prove the existence of Paramatma through these Pramanas. Okay. So by proving the existence of Paramatma, it doesn't mean showing something. It means through logic, we can prove that the Veda Pramanyam is there and the Paramatma is there, and that is how they have revived, to say that they have revived the existence of Vedas. Not that it is completely lost, but there was a time where it was threatened. The existence of the Vedas was threatened to the point where everybody was turning towards other belief systems, other Tattvajnanams. So it was the Nayayikas who worked so much, and that is how the Nyaya Darshanam is all about. So to know more about it, we can study that, and it is very interesting. Even back in those days, they have used so much of logic to make other people understand. Because without using what is given in the Vedas, you should be able to reason with them to a point where they should agree that, okay, so Vedas are there. And okay, that is your belief system, and we respect that. So you have to bring that other people to that point where they are able to stop at least saying that Vedas do not exist. So for that, they have to pick up a system or a reasoning where even they are in agreement with it. Using that as an argument, they have to prove the existence of Vedas. Say for example, like how do you say? Now they don't believe in Vedas, so we cannot quote anything in the Vedas to make them believe something. Why? Because they don't believe in Vedas. How are we going to use that to make them believe that? So if you say that, God is there, and then a child says, no, I cannot see him, he is not there. So when he already is at the point where he thinks that God does not exist, you cannot continue the reasoning by explaining what God has done, because he does not even believe that God is there. So how will you be able to convince that these are all the things that God has done, right? So you should come from the other side and try to make him look at things, with the things that he already knows. So like, say for example, there is fire, and through the fire there will be smoke. Now, a child has never seen a fire or a smoke, say for example, but once he sees some smoke coming from somewhere, so then you say, oh, there is smoke over there, so there must be fire somewhere. So he won't understand it at first. How will there be fire? I don't see the fire, I only see the smoke. How can you say that the smoke is coming only from a fire? So after seeing it several times that the smoke comes only from a fire, then even when the fire is not seen, if there is smoke, he will agree that since there is smoke, there is definitely fire. Only by proving, so this is like Anumanam. That is called Anumana Pramanam. After the Pratyaksha Pramanam happens several times, so it becomes a common thing that even when the child does not see the smoke, does not see the fire, he will understand that the smoke comes from fire. So there he is taking his father as the pramanam there, because he believes in his father. He knows that his father is knowledgeable to whatever extent that is needed. Though he doesn't see the fire, because of this Anumana Pramanam, he is taking his father's word as the Pramanam. That is the Anumana Pramanam. Because why is it called Anumanam? Because he did not see it Pratyaksham, but he is going with what is being told to him, and his source should be the right source. So he knows that his father only tells what he really knows. So that is the Pramanam there. So that is the reason why we have to be careful who our children talk to. Why? Because if their source is not trustworthy, then they will be misled, right? So because they are young, they are not able to see if that other person is really knowledgeable or not. Sometimes people appear to be more knowledgeable than they actually are, based on how they are speaking. So many times if we are not careful, we might think, we might be misled. So that has to be taken into consideration. So such things, that is what this is. This shloka in particular is talking about. So this here Shraddhavan is not simply having the Indriyas under control and having Shraddha, because even if you have Indriyas under control and have Shraddha, you have to know how to move forward, and that can be only explained through a philosophical text or a guru. And there that faith comes in. So that is also equally needed. You should not have like a Mudha Namakam or a Andha Vishwasam. We have to have our own intelligence to be able to identify the correct source of knowledge. That is what is being emphasized here in this shloka. So coming to the Vyakaranam, Samasa Sanyatendriyaha Sanyatani Indriyani Yena Saha. So this is the Samasa here is Visheshana Purvapada, can we say? Indriyas that are in control. And then Kridanta, Shraddhavan, Shraddha and Matu.
बहुव्रीहि भवति किल महोदय संयतानि इन्द्रियाणि येन सह बहुव्रीहि भवति.
Correct. Sorry. Yeah. If it is Sanyatendriyani, then if it is just Sanyatendriyani, then it will be Visheshana Purvapada.
Yes,
but
yes.
here Yena Saha, Bahuvrihi. Yes. Then Shraddhavan, Shraddha and Matup, and Labdva is the Tvanta. Astu. Okay. Next shloka. Lakshmi Narayan Mahodaya Patitum Ichchati va?
Patami Modi. Namaste. Ajnashcha shraddhadanascha samshayatma vinashyati nayam lokosti na paro na sukham samshayatmanah. Padavibhagah ajnah cha अश्रद्धधानः च संशयात्मा विनश्यति न अयं लोकः अस्ति न परः न सुखं संशयात्मनः. अज्ञः पुल्लिंग प्रथम एकवचन च अव्यय अश्रद्धधानः अश्रद्धधान पुल्लिंग प्रथम विभक्ति एकवचन देन च पुनः अव्ययम संशयात्मा संशयात्मन् पुल्लिंग प्रथम विभक्ति एकवचन विनश्यति वि उपसर्ग पूर्वक नश् धातु लट् लकार कर्तरी तृतीय पुरुष एकवचन then na punah avyayam ayam idam shabda sarvanama pullinga prathama vibhakti ekavachana lokah loka pullinga prathama vibhakti ekavachana asti asdhatu lat lakara kartari तृतीय पुरुष एकवचन
प्रथम पुरुष एव महोदय
प्रथम पुरुष एकवचन then
न अव्ययम् अनन्तरं परः
पुल्लिङ्गः प्रथम विभक्ति एकवचन न अव्ययम् सुखं सुखं नपुंसकलिङ्ग प्रथम विभक्ति एकवचन संशयात्मनः संशयात्मन् पुल्लिंग षष्ठी विभक्ति एकवचन.
अस्तु.
इदानीम् आकांक्षा क्रियापदानि विनश्यति द्वितीय अस्ति पदार्थ अज्ञः च अज्ञानी च अश्रद्धधाना च श्रद्धाविहीनः च संशयात्मा संशय मनस्कः विनश्यति प्रणश्यति संशयात्मनः संशय चित्तस्य अयं लोकः नास्ति, इह लोकः न विद्यते, परः न, परलोकः न, सुखं च न, सन्तोषः अपि न विद्यते। आकांक्षा विनश्यति, कः विनश्यति? अज्ञः विनश्यति। अज्ञः पुनश्च कः विनश्यति? अज्ञः च अश्रद्धधानः च विनश्यति। अज्ञः च अश्रद्धधानः च कीदृशः विनश्यति? अज्ञः च अश्रद्धधानः च संशयात्मा विनश्यति। द्वितीयवाक्यं न अस्ति। कस्य न अस्ति? संशयात्मनः न अस्ति। संशयात्मनः कः न अस्ति? संशयात्मनः लोकः न अस्ति। संशयात्मनः कः लोकः नास्ति? संशयात्मनः अयं लोकः नास्ति। संशयात्मकः अयं लोकः नास्ति पुनश्च कः न? संशयात्मकः अयं लोकः नास्ति परः अपि न। संशयात्मः अयं लोकः नास्ति परः न पुनश्च किं न? संशयात्मनः अयं लोकः नास्ति परं न सुखं च न। अन्वयः अज्ञः च अश्रद्धधानः च संशयात्मा विनश्यति। संशयात्मनः अयं लोकः नास्ति परः न सुखं च न। व्याकरणं संधिः अज्ञः अश्रद्धधानः च, अज्ञः च विसर्गसन्धि ष्टुत्वम्, अज्ञश्च अश्रद्धधानः सवर्णदीर्घसन्धि, अज्ञश्च अश्रद्धधानश्च प्लश्च विसर्गसन्धि सकारश्चुत्वम्, नायं न अयं सवर्णदीर्घसन्धि, लोकोऽस्ति लोकः अस्ति विसर्गसन्धि रेफा उकार गुणः तत्परं पूर्वरूपम्, परो न परः प्लस न विसर्गसन्धि सकार रेफः उकार गुणः ओकार भवति। समासः अज्ञः न ज्ञः न तत्पुरुषः, अश्रद्धधानः न श्रद्धदानः न तत्पुरुषः, संशयात्मा संशयः आत्मनि यस्य सः बहुव्रीहि।
अस्तु महोदय। सो अत्र विनश्यति इति एकं क्रियापदं। सो अत्र कर्तृपदं किम्?
अज्ञः,
पुनः
पुनः अश्रद्धदानः,
पुनः
संशयात्मा।
सो त्रयः अपि कर्तृपदानि एव।
सत्यं।
सो अज्ञः अश्रद्धधानः
संशयात्मा।
अनन्तरं द्वितीयं क्रियापदं
न अस्ति, अस्ति क्रियापदम् अस्ति, नास्ति इति उक्तम्।
नास्ति। कः नास्ति?
संशयात्मनः नास्ति।
कुत्र नास्ति?
लोके लोकः संशयात्मनः
लोकः अपि प्रथमा विभक्तौ एव अस्ति।
हाँ।
संशयात्मनः लोकः नास्ति।
संशयात्मनः लोकः नास्ति।
संशये सति मुक्तिरूपं फलं न प्राप्नोति, तादृशस्य संशयात्मनः अयं लोकः न सुखदायकः न अपि परलोकः, तस्य संसारे क्लेशानुभवः एव गतिः। So here संशयात्मनः इति षष्ठी विभक्तौ अस्ति खलु?
आमां।
So for him in this loka there is no sukham. That is how it is. So lokah eva kartrupadam asti.
हाँ, लोकः प्रथम एकवचन सत्यं।
लोकः एव कर्तृपदं, संशयात्मनः
तस्य लोकस्य संशयात्मनः।
So षष्ठी संबंध to loka. Ayam is visheshana to lokah. And parah na api sampurnam vakyam paralokah api
नास्ति।
न विद्यते, सन्तोषः न विद्यते। अस्तु। So here basically this shloka is saying that ajnaha means does not have any kind of ajnani, and ashraddhanaha, he who has no shraddha. Then samshayatma, all these three, he who does not know anything, he though he knows is unable to
not
practice.
having faith.
And samshayatma. Samshayatma is he who
always
is
finding some fault or something, doubts.
It's doubtful.
Doubtful nature.
So whatever he is practicing, he is not having that complete faith in it.
Faith in that.
Always doubtful. So whoever is doubtful, they can never have that sukham. See, he who does not know anything is one way, he is happy in his old ignorant world. Okay, though he doesn't know anything, he cannot go into the jnana marga because he does not know anything. But at least he is happy in his own ajnanam. One way. And then ashraddha dhana. So this ashraddha dhana, because ashraddha dhana is not only having shraddha, the shraddhavan is not only he who not only has shraddha but also faith. So here ashraddha dhana means he who does not have shraddha as well as he is unable to identify between what is right and what is wrong. Not able to identify what is right and what is wrong. So which is dharma and which is adharma. He is unable to identify that because because of that he has the chance of following adharma. And because he will never be able to get on the jnana marga. So he is not completely ignorant, but he is not able to
identify between shraddha and ashraddha.
Between good and bad always. Certain things are very obvious, but certain things even we sometimes get confused what is the right thing to do in certain situations. So there we have to take the advice of a guru or a philosophical text or something like that whenever we are in question.
Margadarshanam required.
So when we have that kind of shraddha only, we will take such steps to know what is right. We simply do not determine for ourselves and go ahead. We have to take the advice of learned people and then try to follow the right path. So ashraddha dhana is he who does not do that. So there is a good probability for him to do something wrong because of his ashraddha. So because of that, he will not be able to enter the jnana marga. And then sanshayatma. Sanshayatma is he who is always doubtful, and because of that, he can never attain sukham. So ajnaha is one way. He at some point he will become.
He may be sukhi also.
He may be sukhi, and there is a good chance for him to become a jnanavan. And similarly, ashraddha dhanaha also there is a chance for him to become shraddhavan. But for a samshayatma, unless he tries really hard, it will be difficult for him to do this sandeha nivritti. So to clear somebody's these doubts, always be in that samshayatma. Having a doubt and clearing is one thing, but having a doubt in what even the guru says. Always.
That also he may not have faith.
That is difficult
because
to
of his nature.
So for such a kind of samshayatma, there is no sukham in this loka as well as in the paraloka. That is what this shloka is saying. Agnyascha shraddha dhanascha samshayatma vinashyati. All these three will be destroyed. All these three kinds of people who are in these three kinds of state will be destroyed. Na ayam lokaha asti, na paraha, na sukham samshayatmanaha. So out of all these three, this samshayatmanaha is more difficult because he cannot have sukham in this lokam or in the paraloka. So at any point, we should try to have that kind of trust. Once we find the right guru, we need to have that trust and move forward. Otherwise, it will be difficult for him to find any kind of sukha. So here, yasya atma vishayakam jnanam nasti, yasya cha tatra shraddha nasti, tayoreva samshayah bhavati. Samshaye sati mukti rupam phalam na prapnoti. Tadrishasya samshayatmanah ayam lokah na sukhadayakah na api paralokah. So tatsya cha asmin samsare kleshanubhavah
eva gatihi.
So he will always be in that state of klesha. Astu. Any questions, anyone in this shloka? Astu. Sri Lakshmi Bhagini, patitum ichchati va? Sri Lakshmi Bhagini? Astu. Surya Bhagini.
किञ्चित् समयानन्तरं पठामि भगिनि।
आमां, चिन्ता मास्तु. Surya Bhagini patatu.
योगसंन्यस्तकर्मणि ज्ञानसंच्छिन्न संशयम् आत्मवन्तं न कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय।
యోగ సన్యస్త కర్మాణం.
ఒకటే వర్డ్ కింద చదవాలి. యోగ సన్యస్త కర్మాణం. కర్మని కర్మన్ శబ్దం ద్వితీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం. జ్ఞాన సంచ్ఛిన్న సంశయం. సంశయం మకారాంత నపుంసకలింగం.
అకారాంత పుంలింగమేవ.
అకారాంత పుల్లింగం. సంశయ అని వస్తుంది.
అంటే సమాస పదం కదా. Sometimes only the ending word, though it is in napumsaka, when the whole samasa word is indicating pumlinga, then we have to take it as pumlinga.
ఆత్మవంతం. ఇది ద్వితీయ విభక్తి.
పుంలింగ ద్వితీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం.
నా అవ్యయం. కర్మాణి కర్మన్ శబ్దం సప్తమి విభక్తి ఏకవచనం.
నపుంసకలింగం అతః బహువచనం. ప్రథమా విభక్తి బహు. కర్మణి without దీర్ఘ, if it is karmani then it is saptami, but karmani, so this is prathama vibhakti bahuvachanam.
నిబధ్నంతి
నీ ఉపసర్గ
బంధధాతు. ప్రథమ విభక్తి లట్లకారం. లట్లకారం బహువచనం. ధనంజయ సంబోధన పదం. పదార్థ ధనంజయ అర్జున. యోగ సన్యస్త కర్మాణం ఆత్మజ్ఞాన సంక్షిప్త కర్మాణం. జ్ఞాన సంచ్ఛిన్న సంశయం. ఆత్మజ్ఞాన వినష్ట సందేహం. ఆత్మవంతం ఆత్మనిష్టం. కర్మాణి యజ్ఞాదీని నా నిబధ్నంతి నా లింపంతి. అన్వయ ధనంజయ యోగ సన్యస్త కర్మాణం జ్ఞాన సంచ్ఛిన్న సంశయం ఆత్మవంతం కర్మాణి నా నిబధ్నంతి. ఆకాంక్ష నా నిబధ్నంతి. కాని నా నిబధ్నంతి. కర్మాణి నా నిబధ్నంతి. కం కర్మాణి నా నిబధ్నంతి. యోగ సన్యస్త కర్మాణి నా నిబధ్నంతి. యోగ సన్యస్త కర్మాణం పునశ్చ కీదృశం కర్మాణి నా నిబధ్నంతి. యోగ సన్యస్త కర్మాణం జ్ఞాన సంచ్ఛిన్న సంశయం కర్మాణి నా నిబధ్నంతి. యోగ సన్యస్త కర్మాణం జ్ఞాన సంచ్ఛిన్న సంశయం పునశ్చ కీదృశం కర్మాణి నా నిబధ్నంతి. యోగ సన్యస్త కర్మాణం జ్ఞాన సంచ్ఛిన్న సంశయం ఆత్మవంతం కర్మాణి నా నిబధ్నంతి. అస్మిన్ శ్లోకే సంబోధన పదం కిం? ధనంజయ. తాత్పర్యం ధనంజయ యః సర్వాణి కర్మాణి సమత్వ బుద్ధియోగేన భగవదర్పితాని కరోతి యస్య చ సంశయాః ఆత్మజ్ఞాన ప్రాప్త్యా నష్టాః సంతి తం జితేంద్రియః పురుషం కర్మాణి నా లింపంతి. మాధ్యమృతం పరమాత్మని సర్వకర్మాణి సమర్పయన్ తత్వజ్ఞాని కర్మభిః న బధ్యతే. వ్యాకరణం సమాసః యోగ సంన్యస్త కర్మాణం యోగేన సంన్యస్తాని యోగ సంన్యస్తాని. తృతీయ తత్పురుష యోగ సంన్యస్తాని कर्माणि यस्य सः बहुव्रीहिः ज्ञानसञ्छिन्न संशयं ज्ञानेन संच्छिन्नः ज्ञानसञ्छिन्नः तृतीया तत्पुरुषः ज्ञानसञ्छिन्नः संशयः यस्य सः तं बहुव्रीहिः कृदन्तः सन्न्यस्तः सं प्लस नि प्लस अस प्लस ता कर्मणि संच्छिन्नः सम प्लस छिद प्लस ता प्लस ता कर्तरि तद्धितान्तः आत्मवन्तम् आत्मा प्लस मत तम् आत्मा अस्य अस्मिन् वा अस्ति
अस्तु सो अत्र क्रियापदं निबध्नन्ति
पदं निबध्नन्ति
सो कर्तृपदं किम्
योगसंन्यस्तकर्माणं ज्ञानस्य धनञ्जय योगसंन्यस्त
सो
कर्माणि
कर्माणि न निबध्नन्ति कर्माणि न निबध्नन्ति అంటే కర్మలు అంటవు touch whom will the karmas not touch atmavantam jnana sanchinna sanshayam yoga sanyasta karmanam so what is yoga sanyasta karmanam atma jnana samtyakta karmanam so he who has attained atma jnanam okay yoga sanyasta karmanam so sanyasta karmanam so he who has given up the phalapeksha in that way we can take and then jnana sanchinna samshayam he who has destroyed all his samshayam with jnanam atma jnana vinashta sandeham atmavantam atmanishtam so that kind of person will not be touched such kind of purusham atmavantam purusham jnana sanchinna samshayam purusham yoga sanyasta karmanam purusham if you take that purusham it will be easy that kind of person what kind of person who has atmanishta again what kind of person he who has destroyed his samshayam with jnana again what kind of purusham he who has given up all the karmas means giving up all the karmas means performing karmas without any kind of phalapeksha giving up karmas means not doing anything we have to do everybody has to do their karmas but without any kind of attachment that is called yoga sanyasta karmanam okay so such kind of person karmani na nibadhnanti that person will not be touched with the karmas that he do because that is the biggest question we all have I am doing this how can this karma not touch me even Arjuna had the same question right I am fighting this war I am going to kill those people how can the sin not touch me that was his question that is the reason why he did not want to fight the war because he did not want the sins to touch him because he is thinking that if he kills those people because killing is a sin how can he not gather any sin that was his question so because of that only Krishna had to explain about the karma marga you have to do your duty and when in the process of doing your duty you have to do all these karmas but if you do it without any phalapeksha and without any ragadveshas see if Arjuna had killed them with some kind of kaksha oh you did this to Draupadi you did this to that you did this to this person on with that revengeful mindset if he had performed the war then of course he would have accrued the sin but he only performed the war as a duty because it is the duty of a kshatriya to protect his kingdom in the dharma marga so he had to do that so that clarity he needed from Krishna only then he was able to go forward and do even though he did not have that vengeful feelings but still he thought the if we do something bad it will touch us so here also we also have to constantly remind ourselves that we have to do our karmas without any kind of phalapeksha and without any kind of ragadvesha we should not even do with some kind of benefit, like love towards our kids. When we are doing something, we have to do with just whoever is there, whether it is our kid or somebody else's kid. The same kind of Shraddha should be there. Just because it is our kid, we are doing it with more Shraddha. If it is somebody else, we are only doing it as a duty. Not like that. No matter what we are doing, we still have to do it like how we do our work. Work in the sense, say for example, if we are working for somebody, or think of a person who is a maid. So she works in a house. She cleans the house thoroughly. Is it her house? It is not her house. But still she will clean it like it is her house. But does she have any attachment towards it? Just because she is cleaning it so thoroughly every single day, will she develop an attachment with that house? No, because she knows that this is not my house. I'm doing only because it is my duty. She cleans it, she leaves, and she forgets about it. Like that, we have to do every work in the same way. So that is the yoga sanyasta karmanam. Jnana sanchinna samshayam, clearing our the samshayam. We have to destroy that only with knowledge, only with the jnana that samshayam can be destroyed. There is no other way. And how can we get that jnanam? By understanding the Paramatma Tattvam. We have to be conscious of the Paramatma Tattvam. Every single in every single instance, whatever we do, constantly we have to be apramattam. So constantly we have to be very conscious. Whatever we do, we have to see, oh Paramatma, we are offering this to Paramatma. That is why then there won't be any samshayam, right? Samshayam comes only when we are not sure. But if we believe in Paramatma, Paramatma is there. There is no doubt about it. He exists in every living thing and in every non-living thing. If we have that complete faith, then in whatever we do, we don't have any more samshayam, because we know that we are doing it for Paramatma. And everything we do is we are offering it to Paramatma. Then what samshayam will be there? So with that kind of jnanam, we have to destroy the samshayam. So jnana sanchinna samshayam and atmavantam. Atmavantam indicates a person who is doing with nishtha. So this is all together, it works. The samshayam is destroyed with the manas by focusing our manas on complete faith. And by doing this and by obtaining jnanam in that way, and by attaining that siddhi, and with a pure manas, with the manas that has shuddhi, only with that we can achieve this. So for such a kind of person, whatever karmas he does will not touch. So he will not be. So once you obtain the tattva jnanam, once you obtain the tattva jnanam, we discussed in the previous shlokas that there is a time that the jivi will still be with the sharira in this world, even after he attains the tattva jnanam. Why? Because he has to set an example to the other people, right? For that purpose, he still will carry his body. And while he is carrying his body, he is still doing some karmas. So all those karmas will not touch him. After he attains the tattva jnanam, means attaining tattva jnanam means he already has complete control of his indriyas. So whatever karmas he does with without any phalapeksha. He does without any ragadvesha. Only then we say that he has obtained tattva jnanam. Only when he is able to do that, we say that he obtained tattva jnanam. So once he obtained tattva jnanam, he is able to do karmas without ragadvesha. He is able to do karmas without any phalapeksha. So they will not touch him. So for going forward, he will not gather any more karma. So, but he will carry that body until those what do you call those karmas that come, prarabdha karmas, until the prarabdha karmas are all burnt out. Until then, he has to carry that body to set an example to other people about how to attain the tattva jnanam and how to move forward. So for that reason only, he will be there until all his prarabdha karmas are burnt out. Until then, the sharira will be there. So once he, that is what this shloka is saying. To such a person, the karmas will not touch. Here the samasa yoga sanyasta karmanam, yogena sanyastani, yoga sanyastani. So he who is able to leave means like tyajati. What is he leaving? Karmani. And how did he practice this leaving? Through yoga. Yoga is nothing but abhyasam. Yoga is nothing but abhyasam, practicing. So with the practice, he is able to leave. What is he able to leave? The karmas. So yoga sanyastani karmani. Yasya saha. He who is able to leave all his karmas by practicing through yoga. So that is bahuvrihi. Anantaram jnana sanchinna samshayam. Jnanena sanchinnaha, jnana sanchinnaha. So you are destroying it with jnanam. So again, Tritiya Tatpurusha. So that which is destroyed with jnanam, that kind of samshayaha. So a samshayaha which is destroyed by jnanam. He who has that. So he who is in a state where his samshayam is destroyed with jnanam. So that is also bahuvrihi. And sanyastaha. Sam upasarga, ni upasarga, as dhatu, kta pratyayam. And then sanchinnaha also is a sam upasarga chid dhatu kta pratyayam. And then atmavantam is matup. Atma asya asmin va asti. Astu. Any questions in this shloka? Okay. Anantaram Bhavana Bhagini patitum ichchati va? Jayaprada garu chadutara?
చదువుతానండి. తస్మాదజ్ఞాన సంభూతం విస్సం జ్ఞానాసీనాత్మనః చిత్వైనం సంశయం యోగమాతిష్టోత్తిష్ట భారత.
So
పదార్థ భారత అర్జున తస్మాత్ తత్తః హేతోః అజ్ఞాన సంభూతం అవివేక జ్ఞానితం ఆత్మనః తస్య ఉత్సం బుద్ధిస్థితం ఏనం అమం సంశయం సందేహం జ్ఞానాసిన జ్ఞానరూపేణ సంఘేన కంగేన చిత్వా
ఖడ్గం లాగా
ఖడ్గేన చిత్వా విదార్య ఉత్థితః భవ యోగం కర్మయోగం ఆతిష్ట ఆచార అన్వయ.
సో ఒక్క నిమిషం పద పరిచయం ఒకసారి చేసుకుందాము. సో ఫస్ట్ తస్మాత్ తద్ శబ్దస్య పుంలింగ పంచమీ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం. అనంతరం అజ్ఞాన సంభూతం. సో అజ్ఞాన సంభూత అకారాంత పుంలింగ ద్వితీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం. హృత్స్థం. సో పునః అకారాంత పుంలింగ ద్వితీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం. జ్ఞానాసిన. సో జ్ఞానాసి. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ఇకారాంత పుంలింగ తృతీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం. ఆత్మనః. ఆత్మన్ శబ్ద పుంలింగ షష్ఠి విభక్తి ఏకవచనం. అనంతరం చిత్వా. సో చిద్ ధాతు క్వాంతం. ఏనం. ఇదం శబ్దస్య పుంలింగం ద్వితీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం. సంశయం అకారాంత పుంలింగ శబ్ద ద్వితీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం. యోగం అగైన్ అకారాంత పుంలింగ ద్వితీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం. ఆతిష్ఠ. ఆ ఉపసర్గ స్థా ధాతు లోట్లకార మధ్యమ పురుష ఏకవచనం. Uttishta. Ud dhatu. Ut upasarga. Stha dhatu. Again, lot lakara, madhyama purusha, ekavachana. Bharata. Akaranta linga sambodhana. Okay. Idanim patatu.
Bharata. Anvayah. Bharata. Tasmat ajnana sambhotam atmanaha prissam yenam samsayam jnanasina chitva jnanasina chitva uttishta yogam atishta.
Akanksha.
Uttishta. Kim krutva uttishta chitva uttishta. Kena chitva uttishta jnanasina chitva uttishta. Kam jnanasina chitva samsayam jnanasina chitva uttishta. Kam samsayam jnanasina chitva uttishta. Yenam samsayam jnanasina chitva uttishta. Putratham Putratiyam Yenam samsayam jnanasina chitva uttishta. Prustam yenam samsayam jnanasina chitva uttishta. Kasya prustam yenam samsayam jnanasina chitva uttishta. Atmanaha prustam yenam samsaya jnanasina chitva uttishta. Kidrusham atmanaha prustam yenam samsayam jnanasina chitva uttishta. Ajnana sambhutam atmanaha prustam yenam samsayam jnanasina chitva uttishta. Kasmat ajnana sambhutam atmanaha prustam yenam samsayam jnanasina chitva uttishta. Tasmat ajnana sambhutam atmanaha prustam yenam samsayam jnanasina chitva uttishta. Tasmat ajnana sambhutam atmanaha prustam yenam samsayam jnanasina chitva uttishta. Tatha kim tasmat ajnana sambhotam atmanaha prustam yenam samsayam jnanasina chitva uttishta atishta. Tasmat ajnana sambhotam atmanaha prustam yenam samsayam jnanasina chitva uttishta. Kam atishtaha. Tasmat ajnana sambhotam atmanaha prustam yenam samsayam jnanasina chitva uttishta yogam atishta. Asmin shloke sambodhana padam kim bharata. Tatparyam. Chadavanandi.
Chadavandi.
Tatparyam. He bharata ataha ajnanena samutpannam buddhi sthitam samsayam jnana rupena khadgena chitva nishkama karma achara. Yuddhadham cha sannadho bhava. Vyakaranam sandhihi chitvainam chitva plus yenam vruddhi sandhihi. Atishta plus uttishta gunasandhi. Tasmad ajnana sambhotam. Tasmad plus ajnana sambhotam jasva sandhi. Samasaha ajnana sambhotam ajnanat sambhotaha tam panchame tatpurushaha. Jnanasina jnanam eva asihi tena karmadharayah krudantaha chitva. Chit plus tva.
Astu. So atra kriyapadam kim? Atishta, uttishta. So two are there. We have atishta and uttishta. So atishta is achara. So here Kartrupadam kim?
किं कृत्वा चित्वा ज्ञानसिना
So
ज्ञानासिना
Atishta is in Madhyama Purusha Ekavachana. So Tvam will be the Kartrupadam. We have to take it as
okay
Adhyaya.
okay
So Tvam Atishta means you practice.
okay
So Kena, Kam Atishta, Yogam Atishta. So you have to practice Yogam. Tvam Yogam Atishta. Kim Kritva Yogam Atishta Chitva.
चित्वा
Kam Chitva Samshayam Chitva.
okay okay
So Samshayanni Chedinchina Tarvata Yogam, you practice yoga after you destroy the Samshayam. So Samshayam Kena Chitva Denito Nasanam Chesin Tarvata Jnanasina. Jnanamane Khadgamto. So after destroying Samshayam with a sword of knowledge, then you practice yoga. Then you practice yoga. So again, Samshayam, Kidrisham Samshayam, Ajnana Sambhutam Samshayam, Hritstham Samshayam, Atmanaha Samshayam. Okay, so Hritstham Samshayam means that which is in your mind. Hritstham. Hritstham means that which is in your mind. And Ajnana Sambhutam. So again, the Samshayam is because of Ajnanam. The Samshayam is because of Ajnanam. And Atmanaha. Atmanaha Samshayam. What is Atmanaha Samshayam? Your. Atmanaha ante swasya. Swasya means your. Your Samshayam. That which is Hritstham means which resides in your mind and which is because of the Ajnana, that kind of Samshayam you destroy with a sword of the knowledge, with knowledge, and then you practice yoga.
Okay.
You practice yoga. And now that I have told you all this, now it is your duty. You stand up and face the war and go and fight the war. Okay. Here that yogam atishta, chitva uttishta. Here that war word is not given, but that is what is implied. And we have to take that war as our daily, the challenges that we face in our daily life to attain the karma marga and the jnana marga. In that way also we can take. So you uttishta means, okay, you get ready. Now that I have told you how to destroy the samshayam and practice yoga. So you get ready and uttishta means you get ready for that. Okay, get ready to face the challenges that come across our way to practice yoga to achieve the karma marga, and through the karma marga entering into the jnana marga and achieving that, we have to do all this. So for that you get ready. Uttishta means you get ready for that. Okay, so that way we can take. So here ajnanam. So for jnanam, always the enemy is ajnanam. For jnanam, the enemy is always ajnanam. And for ajnanam also, the only way to resolve ajnanam is only through jnanam. There is no other way that we can overcome the ajnanam. So to destroy ajnanam, and ajnanam leads to samshayam. Ajnanam can lead to mithya jnanam also. Ajnanam is again classified as 3 types. One is plain ajnanam, not knowing anything. In the previous shloka also it was said. The second one is samshaya jnanam. Okay, means jnanam which is not complete, it is full of doubts. And then mithya jnanam. Mithya jnanam is having incorrect knowledge. Samshaya jnanam is having doubts. You are not sure about anything. But mithya jnanam is having incorrect knowledge and very confidently. So some people, they believe in something. They don't know if it is right or wrong, but they very confidently believe it. So that is mithya jnanam. Ajnanam is not knowing anything. Mithya jnanam is believing in things that are not correct. Samshaya jnanam is having a lot of doubts. So they don't know which is jnanam and which is ajnanam, or which is mithya jnanam. They don't know how to identify a mithya jnanam from a proper jnanam. So that is a samshaya jnanam. Okay. So these are the things of jnanams that that a person can have. So the mithya jnanam can also be referred to as Brahma. Okay, because what they see, they think is true. They believe in something that is not Sat. So that is mithya jnanam. So that is Brahma. That is nothing other than Brahma. So because we all think that whatever we are experiencing right now is real, but it is not. But we think it is real. We truly 100% believe it. So that is Brahma. We are all in that Brahma until we obtain that Tattva Jnanam. Only then we will not feel the pain. Until then we will feel the pain. Once you obtain the Tattva Jnanam that all this is not real, then we won't feel that pain. But we are still feeling the pain. Why? Because we are still believing that whatever is around us is true, is the Sat. That is why we are still feeling the pain. Sometimes, like pain of disappointment, pain of things not happening, all this. Okay, so this Moola Ajnanam should be destroyed, and it can be destroyed only with Jnanam. And here in this shloka, it is referred to as Khadgam. Okay.
Okay.
So we have to follow the marga, the karma marga, to attain Jnanam, the Tattva Jnanam. The first step is to follow the karma marga. We cannot jump into Jnana marga directly when we are not ready for it. We have to follow each of these steps and ultimately obtain the path of Jnana marga. So that is why, like even in the previous shlokas, like several shlokas behind, we saw that Arjuna will be asking, 1 minute you are saying karma marga, other minute you are saying jnana marga, and then you are saying jnana marga is the best out of everything. Then why are you again asking us to follow the karma marga? So for that, the answer is, though jnana marga is the ultimate marga that one has to achieve that it is not very easy. Because that is why repeatedly in middle of the adhyaya, repeatedly it has been said about how to control our indriyas, how to bring the mind into control, because that is not easy. Only one who achieves that only can practice jnana marga. Without having abhyasa in these basic things, if we think that we already have a hold of all our indriyas and try to jump into the jnana marga, we will fail. And that time is wasted, and the path also is distracted. So we will go in the wrong direction. So rather than that, we start from step 1. First, we have to practice putting our indriyas under control. We have to then practice to put the mind under control, because the indriyas do not act by themselves. The mind is the one that is making them act. So when you want to eat something, it is not only your tongue that is asking, it is the mind through the tongue that is asking. So the mind has to brought under control. And then once we do that, we have to do karmas without any kind of phalapeksha. That also we have to do abhyasa, and without any ragadvesha we have to do. So all these, so many things are mentioned. And yajnas we have to perform, and yajna does not mean only the dravya yajna. We have to practice any kind of yajna. There are so many yajnas that are listed. We can practice any of that, but whatever we pick, it has to be done with Shraddha. And whatever time is left out of that yajna, after the time that you have spent on practicing these yajnas, yajna shishta, we have to take that as prasadam. In a materialistic yajna, you will have something materialistic thing to eat, like a prasadam. But if you are practicing yajnas like Indriya yajna and other yajnas, then you won't have anything like a materialistic thing to eat as prasadam. So what it means is, whatever time is left, you have to use that time in doing satkarmas, in practicing karma yoga, without palapeksha doing karmas. Such things we have to use that time and doing our responsibilities. Why we are practicing karma yoga? Because we still have so many responsibilities. Even siddhis who have attained tattva jnanam are still leading life with performing karmas. Why? because they have to set an example to other people. See, they themselves are leading the life of again karma marga. Why? Because that is also their responsibility to set an example to people around them. So we who have not yet achieved basic things, we cannot jump into Jnana Marga, though Jnana Marga is the most, Utkrishta Marga. Since we have to go to it only step by step. We need to have patience because it is not easy to obtain this Tattva Jnanam. But once we obtain Tattva Jnanam, then the moksha will happen instantly. So this is all what has been explained in this adhyaya, in the Chaturthodhyaya. Okay, so he asks Arjuna, it will start with Arjuna asking, so you tell me. And then Krishna says that I have explained all this long back to Vivasvaha, right? And then, it has been passed on through the generations. So then Arjuna again has a question. You appear to be like of the same age as I am. How can you tell, yugas back to somebody? So then again he explains that there is about Punarjanma and that everybody has so many lives. But our lives, we forget. We don't remember what has happened in our previous lives. But to him, he will be able to remember about his previous lives. And then about how, what else is explained in this adhyaya? About the Janmas, he explains. And how he came into, how he comes into existence. Yada yada hi dharmasya. So whenever there is injustice or adharma, I will come and, to save.
Sambhavami yuge yuge.
He will come back. Okay, that is told. So like this again about Siddhi and about the different kinds of karmas, different kinds of yajnas, all this is explained here in this adhyaya. So that with that we conclude this adhyaya. So Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishnarjuna Samvade Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogo Nama Chaturthodhyayah. Okay, with that we complete this. In the next class, we'll start the last book of this set. Okay, there we have 14 more chapters. So yeah, and
Atishta ante abhyasam andi.
Acharinchadam. So any questions?
Okay.
Any questions in this shloka? Okay, good. So, so we'll continue with the fifth, starting from the next class. Is this the same pattern is fine? Continuing this way is fine with everybody? If you can share your feedback, not only right now, you can also send me a message. If you have any suggestions going forward, whether to include anything else in our discussions about the Vyakarana aspect or anything, please feel free to provide any kind of feedback to just improve, whatever we are discussing. Whatever we can incorporate into the class, we can incorporate. If it is fine as it is, then we can continue in the same way. And whatever information that I am sharing regarding the meanings of the shlokas, I am following the information given in a pravachanam. Okay, because I myself am learning everything. So I am basing such information by following a pravachanam. So if you also have any inputs regarding that, you also can feel free to share. But I thought because we are not only the Vyakarana aspect, we can only look at the surface level of a shloka's meaning. But what is being actually said, I thought will be helpful if we discuss it a little bit, because the main purpose of we all studying Bhagavad Gita is to also be able to look into that briefly, very briefly only we are covering. And it will be easy also sometimes with examples. What I have noticed is many times examples will make us understand better. And examples are given in that pravachanam that I'm following. So I thought it will be helpful in that aspect also. If any of you have any feedback to share, please feel free.
Okay.
Astu. So shall we stop this week? Astu. Alivelu Bagini.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। धन्यवाद भगिनी, नमस्कारः। सर्वेभ्यः धन्यवादः, नमस्कारः।
धन्यवादः भगिनी, सर्वेभ्यः धन्यवादः।